Hello, hi. I'm Eddie Obeng, and this is How. Daily, I bring you a tool, a tip, an idea, something which will change your life and move from striving to thriving. And today, I have for you a different way to think about a business enterprise. So let's jump on Cube and let's get going. So welcome to Cube, where, as you can see with the blue sky outside, the sun is always shining. You may be looking around and wondering, where are we today? Today, we're in the Change Ninja Dojo. This is where my colleague, Tammy Watchorn, who has written the Change Ninja series, you may have come across it. This is where she works with people on her short courses to transform them from normal people who struggle through life to ninjas who can get around anything. Okay, so let's have a look at this whole idea of the business, the way in which we're going to transform businesses. So I'm going to start by just thinking a little bit about what a transaction is. Okay, how do transactions work? Transactions are based on a really simple misunderstanding. Let's say, for example, you have what should we go for? You have a pen. Pens are good, okay? A pen, okay? So you've got a pen, that's your pen. And I, on the other hand, have some cash, okay? And the weirdest thing ever happens, because what happens is I look at my cash and I go, I've got cash, but I would much rather have something else, okay? I'd much rather have a pen. So that's my thought. You look at your pen and go, ugh, ugly pen. I'd much rather have cash. Okay, so we both think we have the right idea. We're both correct. But somehow or other, both of us being correct, we decide to swap one for the other. How does that work? And that's what happens in all transactions. So that's what happens normally. So in most business transactions, we have as our enterprise the organization which is selling, which is our company, okay? And then we consider, perhaps, if possible, we consider the customers or whoever the customer organization is. So we look at them as well. And then apart from that customer organization, we might, for example, think about the people who regulate it, I don't know, the government or something like that, or if there's a pen safety committee, something like that. And maybe we also think a little bit about the people who supply us with the parts for making our pen. So this in the old world was sort of the complexity of the business transaction. But we're not in the old world anymore. The world has accelerated. The pace of change has outpaced the ability to learn. We've gone from being local to being more global. We've gone from being analog to being digital everywhere in the world all at the same time. So the game is completely different. And so this particular approach is to allow you to think about all the other opportunities you have for trying to make your enterprise work. And so I've added to the normal four a couple of others. So for example, you've got your company over here. It might be an idea you want to describe your company. You might say, we make the best pens in the world. I'm just making it up, okay? And you might want to think about, oh, what's my relationship with other organizations? Well, there are some companies I need to provide me as suppliers, the people who provide the materials, etc., etc. But there might also be other people I need to do, collaborators. Maybe there's a pen association where the pen association talk about the best pens in the world. I'm just making it up. So you want to list all the different relationships you need with contributors and collaborators. And then you might decide, actually, I don't want to sell the pens myself. I actually need to go to the pen mall. Is there such a thing? I don't know. The pen mall, or have that as a channel to go through. So you might choose to have the pen mall over here. And then you might think, okay, so I actually want customers. I want people who come and buy for themselves. Okay? Are they? Yeah, they're customers. But there are also people called consumers. Consumers are people who absorb and use the services you provide. They don't necessarily buy it, but they consume what you... And then they're clients. Clients bring you a problem which you have to solve. So the question is, what sort of relationship do I want? And are there different groups? And things like Aladdin will help you with this because they'll help you. But then in this modern world, if you're doing something like a complicated... You might, for example, decide you want to cooperate with an AI company which is going to do your... So you might share the research and development with someone, or you might even with a competitor get together and work out what the market should look like for pens. So you get competitors and you get cooperators. Cooperatives, like when you were at school and you would work with your colleagues. I did this on my MBA. We'd all work together. We had a club called MBA 50% club. Okay, so we'd work together on the homework, but we were still competing. So that's another thing. And then you need to worry a little bit about the context setters. There are so many context setters in this complex world today. You know, governments, everyone wants to have a say in how your enterprise runs. It makes it really quite difficult to operate effectively. But map it out, decide what you want, and then build your organization. So that's a business sphere. It's a way of thinking about your enterprise more broadly to see how you can get advantages from all the different players around you and make sure that you move into our new world and you're able to take full advantage. The quick guide, of course, is always qb.cc/pets/BusinessSphere. And if you subscribe to the newsletter, guess what? You'll get not just this one, but you get the pet of the week, and you'll be able to get some news and some other things as well. So see you again.